What is going on, everybody? We're back on it. Vagabond 85, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, we had some crazy, like, premonition type. Well, not a premonition, but like a. I don't even want to call it a vision. Maybe we just kind of flash forward in events a little bit. It looked like we had killed Denchichurro. Is that going to be a real thing? TBD. And we have a lot of kind of like heavy hitters in the area right now. Kajuro is here. I think Matahachi's in the town over. Kwan and Otsu are over here. I don't know. We might have a lot of people like converging on this event that we have going on. I think the only person that doesn't seem to be is maybe Inshun, but the only one that's like hip to it that's not here, and the kid's grandson. Those would be about the only two. Everybody else that is like worth a damn story-wise is, I think, here in the area. So let's see what craziness this is about to be. Drag this over here, press play on that, turn that volume up. All right, let's see what we've got. 185. I think we're zoomed in just to drop too much. Oh, we'll have to play around with it. I'll end up freezing to death in this cold. My body will freeze, I'll stiffen up. I'm already too stiff. How about this? Utilizing a surprise attack, wait until your opponent's body is cold and tight. I should write that down. Okay. Is somebody walking? Or are we walking? Is someone walking up on us? Or are we walking? It's too cold. Everyone kept telling him it was too damn cold. They said you could stay the night. Maybe I'll spread the fire out a bit. The dry leaves burn really well. I mean, it's going to cause a whole forest fire in a minute. Whose foot? This should be okay. A flame does not light easily, but once it does, it can go wild. This could be applied to the way of the sword. Somebody died in battle here. Come to think of it, this isn't the most pleasant of places. I think we're slowly losing it to the cold here. Oh, look who it is. Bitch boy number 1. New Year's Day is almost here. What does he want to do? Spar with him to see if his brother has an actual chance or what? Okay, they're in the northern part of Kyoto. Oh, and they cut away. Of course they do. Of course they do. Are you okay? The bone is completely crushed. His right arm is useless. I'm sorry. That's enough for today. Who do you think I am? I've been with the Yoshiaka for 22 years. I've always been prepared to sacrifice an arm or two for the sake of the clan. You see, Denchichurro, on this night, I am glad that I stand before you. I'm happy that I may be of some service to you. It's not often one gets to train with a raw blade. I'm gonna be honest. He's gonna die in front of all of them, isn't he? Cut me down? As if I were Musashi? Well, man has a broken arm and is ready to just like toss the life away or what? But just my right arm. I don't want to die just yet. After all, I want to be there to see it. I want to. God, we can, even though we're not in the best of times for medicine and in repair, like we can still set that arm to maybe you don't have to get rid of it. Now then, Denchichurro Sensei, think of this arm as Musashi, not some useless log. Stand on guard or I'll beat you senseless. Guys. And what was it? What was the phrase that he said? Bone is just like, okay, all right. Very well, I will not be defeated. Is this man really trying to like calm the hell down here? He's got to be the worst of the worst, right? He missed. Man had a chance and straight up missed. Sojiro, impressive. Such cat-like quickness. It's so wild that he was able to sense that with like the burning fire, the noise and everything of that going on, and him being cold. Cat-like quickness. They've been among my teachers too, masters of meow. So it was you. You were the one watching me. I tried to attack you from behind, so we wouldn't have to engage in some sort of sensational fight. Are those the words worthy of the head of the Yoshiaka school? I have a feeling this isn't the first time you've resorted to something like this. Correct. He's honestly, like, he's the worst. In any case, this is exactly what I wanted. He's been trying to get him to fight him for, I guess it's been years now, right? You call yourself the head of the school? I bet this isn't the first time you resorted to something like this. Something like this? Sneaking in the dark to kill one who's a threat against your school. Well, in any case, this is what I wanted. Yet. He's a date, though. If he dies here, he can't show up to... I must admit I'm quite nervous. How dare you show up of all of a sudden like this? Actually, I guess he's slowly snuck up on me. What's the worst that could happen? You could die. That's the worst. That's the worst that could happen, I suppose. Mind if we talk first? You're so funny. I know you can't wait to start. Let me warn you, I won't be distracted and fall prey to a lame surprise attack. So go ahead and ask your question. It's not important, forget it. So shall we get... So what's he gonna kill both brothers? He's gonna trim off the clan right here? They have no other heirs. I mean, I'm sure they could give it to somebody. They have Ueda and maybe others, but who knows? Yes, before it gets any colder. Both our swords are already drawn after all. A fight to start out the new year? You must really like fighting. Aren't you the same way? Of course I am. Whew, okay, the demon is getting a little triggered. He's different, more substantial. Yeah, when it's time to lock in, we lock in. A year ago he was flat and stiff, like a door. But now he's got more than just a single layer. There's more substance to him. He's more rounded, like cotton. He's big, but light. Very unpleasant. Could this be a developing change? Yeah. Alright, so we've never thrown with him. Nor have we... But I think he's seen us. Let's see how it goes. Did we just get nicked on the forehead again? Not again. I went straight for your eyes. So this is the difference between a door and cotton. We just chip his sword off rip. Don't come back in here with that sword though, because next time we'll go straight through. His attack is heavy like wet cotton. How could he have changed so much in a year? Some shit's been going down, man. Did we just... They do this so much here where like they have people think about an attack and what might happen to them that I can't tell if it actually is happening. Like, did he actually just get cut? Or like, is he thinking about what would have happened? Or... Alright. So, we did cut that guy's arm off. Good God. Keep still. A magnificent strike. Excuse me. It's not easy feat to cut off an arm with one clean stroke. Right, everyone? That's right, and the one he's got the thickest arm among us all. Bro's gonna wake up without that arm and be like, what the hell was I doing? All day and all night, this arm of mine took countless numbers of practice swings. That's why it's so thick with hardened muscle. Thank you for those 22 years. Tenchichiro-sensei, Musashi is nothing. We are behind you. As they chant victory. Sojuro, I must train with Sojuro. Is Sojuro dead? Ueda, where's Sojuro? Off to the pleasure quarters again? There was no need for me to go to the Yagyu. I should have asked my own brother for instruction. Even if he refused, I should have begged him. I might only have 10 days left, but I know I can grow stronger by training with you. The worst... Okay. They both were thinking worst case scenario. Alright, I was like, is his brother dead? I suppose that's a possibility. Alright. 27, 8, and 9. Brother Sojuro, I know I can grow stronger by training with you. Ever since I became taller than my brother, ever since I could physically look down on him, I deluded myself into thinking I could beat him. There's nothing wrong with having determination, but I sought guidance from others. I chased after the legend of Ito, whom I eventually met. Then I sought out the reputation of the Yagyu. I was a fool. I first picked up a sword to be like my brother. They're really building up Sojuro right now to be killed in the middle of the night. I trained with the image of his sword burned into the back of my mind. By looking away from him, I was denying myself. It's almost dawn. Get some sleep, Ueda. I'll wait for him to return. There's no need for you to stay up. You can talk to him tomorrow after you wake up. There's a lot of foreshadowing that he's not going to return. I'm embarrassed to ask him for help to train me. Won't the dawn of the new year be the most fitting occasion to start something I could never do in the past? I'm determined. This is my chance. Go on home. I'm waiting here. That whole, what, 10 pages we just got of like, where's my brother? I want to train with him. And then the thing of like how I look down on my brother and this is a new start. That does not spell well for Sajuro. It's strange. There's no point in getting to know someone you're about to kill, but I do understand your urge to talk. I'm curious about you. How did you spend the past year? Who did you meet and what did you do? He doesn't hear me. No, we are, as the kids call, locked in. Well, I guess we get to see how good this kid is because he's been the only one that we've run into that we haven't thrown, I guess, you know, Kajuro, but we never really had there was never really ever a build up for Kajuro between the two of us yet. Oh. Alright. New area away from the fire. I was fortunate to encounter your sword a year ago. Not that I saw it then as clearly as I do now. He's bluffing. He can see the movement of my sword. As we get nicked in the arm. Amazing. I was aiming straight for your heart, but you managed to guard it with your shoulder? You really do see my sword? But we haven't done anything to not get fluffed up, though. Doesn't make it hurt any less. So how are you able to change so much in such a short period of time? Perhaps Shinchiro can still change too. Why are you so curious? Does it scare you to not understand me? Have I changed so much since last year? I have no idea. Yeah, because you've been going through it. He's only seen when he first met you and the after. The only thing I know that's different. Too rigid, it's your face. That's what's too rigid, yeah. That was a mean trick. Kicking those embers like that. I know. He's flailing. Brute force it is that relies. Brute force it is that he relies on. His face is scary, but not his sword. Those attacks too easy to dodge. If I were him, I'd do this. Me, I'd do it like this. No, like this. Old man's in his head. Those two old coots are the only thing that's different about me. In the back of my mind, somewhere deep inside me, those geezers have found a place to exist. They exist in the very same place where my father used to dwell. That could be better to have in your head. Maybe I have changed. I don't know if that's the time to be thinking about this right now, though. We gotta lock in. We have to lock in. I couldn't see it all before, but now I can see the movement of your sword. The strongest swordsman in Kyoto? I mean, only a human can only take so many nicks and slashes and cuts, though. We're eventually going to have to, like, dodge, like, cleanly dodge, or hit him back, or something along those lines, or what? We just get punched in the face? Did we just block and punched? Like, did we just give him a black eye? I think we did. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. I think that's just straight up punch. I don't think he slashed anything. Unless we're not seeing him come down with it. But the way he flew back, it makes me think it's a punch. And I think there'd be a lot more blood than just on the eye if we sliced him from like forehead to chin. Now we're even. Good. Finally, the great Yoshiaka Sujiro Sensei has deigned to take me seriously. How many times are you going to make me draw my fatal stroke? Our eyes fluffed up too. Well, we got nicked above the eyebrow. The spiral of killing anyone who wants out can quit. They can call me a murderer or a demon, I don't care. This place, the battleground, it's the only place where I belong. My anxieties are blocked out. I can focus and give everything I have. Everything. Surprised Otsu hasn't popped in his mind yet. At this point, his consciousness, his senses, I was about to say, I think he's so locked in. Yeah, he's drooling and shit. Like, that's how focused. Instead, his body had completely transformed with a heightened sense of awareness, focusing solely on Sujiro's blade. Okay, I'm guessing this is another what could happen here, and he didn't actually get sliced. This was only the beginning of Musashi's epic battle against the entirety of the Yoshiaka clan. Alright, we got one more to close it out. And I'm pretty sure the eye heals within those 10 days, because again, that little, like, flash forward that they gave us, we didn't look to be injured when fighting Denshichiro. So, who really knows? How many times will you force me to draw out my fatal stroke? Here he comes. I don't understand it. Whoa. It's a pretty damn good color panel there. That small body looks so huge. Putting your entire self into the sword, that's the Yoshiaka style. 20 years ago, Rendaiji Field? I guess we're going to find out where all these bones came from. You were sentenced to death. Now your life is in my hands. Fight for your life. And he's giving him a chance. How bothersome. The grass is too tall. Is this the kid? I mean, is this Sujiro right here? I'm guessing this is the leader of the Yoshiaka school at the time, 20 years ago. Sujiro, this will be nothing like practicing in the dojo. Perfecting one's skills. Everyone's trying to push people to like have life or death scenarios, same way the old man was trying to do with Inshun. Cultivating one's ki. The baby has arrived, sir. It's a boy, a baby boy. An heir to the Yoshiaka clan. Is this him or is this Denshichiro? I'm guessing this is him. He's over here getting a life flashback. He's gonna die. He is going to literally snuff out the direct descendants of this clan within 2 weeks. Following the way, putting everything into the sword. I can't help but I'm grateful for this life, this man. I can put everything. See, this is what I imagine Kojiro would be thinking and saying if we ever got thoughts of his. I feel like he's the inner monologue when like he's getting to like experience these fights and these battles. We don't get to hear Kojiro and what he thinks about how like he might be grateful for it, or this is what he lives for, or this is what he loves to feel. We just get facial expressions. I feel like this is what he would be thinking along the same lines. O gods of war, I thank you for my very existence. Man is so locked in. What is this, the whole school behind him that he's about to run in here and charge with? In this fleeting moment, his focus diverted by the weight of his burden. He's finally starting to... The man never showed care before. Yoshiaka Sujiro was cut down. I was about to say, he never showed care before. Now he wants to feel the burden of it all. Wow. And that ends up being it. I mean, you could tell the way that was setting up that this man was about to die. The way his brother was like, oh, I could start anew with him, and yada. It's like, okay. And then you give me the flashback of him as a kid, and then, yeah, that's just way too rough. Well, wasn't expecting that. I was thinking, like, what's his part to play in the story? Because, like, we've never faced him, we've never seen him in action. Like, does he just not care and just never actually steps into the story? He always, like, picks at us and stuff, but never, like, gets his hands dirty. Now, I would like to know his motivation for doing that, because his brother is supposed to fight him. Was he trying to spare his brother? Did he, after sparring with his brother and he realized how much his brother hadn't changed, Was he doing this out of the kindness of his heart? Like, hey, let me go take him out so I don't have to watch my brother die? I would assume that's probably what we'll end up finding out. And just like that, Sajuro is dead. He's supposed to be the strongest of everybody in this area, in the Kyoto area. Better than Toji, that we haven't seen in, who knows, 100-something chapters, maybe. Of course, Denchichiro. But Sajuro's name's been linked to, like, Inshun and some of the others, and we're just plucking them off the list. That wasn't even planned. I mean, he came at us, so, I mean, we were just hanging out. Man literally tried to assassinate us in the middle of the night. Had to, so. What's gonna happen when that word gets out? You think it gets out before the 10 days in their battle? I would think so. It'd heighten the moment that much, but... Huh. Well, Sajuro's dead. Or going to be dead, I would assume. Because I don't know, like I said, I don't think anybody has directly died in any of the one-on-one fights that we've had. Because I still don't even know if the Chain and Sickle Kid is alive or not. We just kind of left that there, so... We'll see. We'll leave it there and see. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and as always,